Hello. Tonight we're going to make lasagna, and a special lasagna. It's called Hide the Spinach Lasagna. And it's a great way to get spinach into your family's diet. Spinach has only 20 calories for 1.5 cups. So here we have our ingredients. We need 26 ounces of a spaghetti sauce or pasta sauce. We're going to need a 1/4 cup of Parmesan cheese and cottage cheese. And I usually use the low-fat version or the non-fat version. An egg, 4 to 8 ounces of mozzarella cheese, and 8 ounces of lasagna. I usually buy the 16 ounce and just split it in half. So about 9 of the strips of lasagna. And then we have a huge bag of spinach, 2.5 pounds from Costco. We always try to use it up before it goes bad. That's our challenge as a family. And we use it in salads and also in our cooking. I also have an egg, 1 egg, and we're cooking the pasta now, and also ground beef. So with the spinach, I usually do 2 times with this little chopper and just about 8 ounces of spinach. And we're going to hide it in there, so you want to, sometimes you have to chop it down. I'll stop for a sec. And what's great about spinach is, 8 ounces made this chopped down to 1 cup. So it adds a lot of vitamins and minerals easily to your family's diet. And the first thing I want to do here is break the egg into a pot. And then we're going to add a mixture of cottage cheese and all the other cheeses and the pasta sauce, and we're going to hide the spinach in there. So you want to slightly beat the egg into the pan, and then we'll add the cottage cheese. Adding the cottage cheese. So 16 ounces cottage cheese. Get all that in there. And like I said, I use the low fat or even the non-fat because you're putting other cheeses in it. It'll make it creamy enough. Next we're going to add the Parmesan, and again I said it does not have to be perfect amount. Ugly cooking. There we go, it's about 1/4 cup. And we'll also add the spinach. So this is about 8 ounces of spinach chopped up and packed into a cup. So let's see if we can hide this in there and see if the kids notice. Okay, we'll mix this. And then we'll also mix in the spaghetti sauce. But before you do that, you want to take your pan. It's about an 8 by 13 pan we have here. And you just want to spread the bottom, probably about let's say a 1/4 cup. 1/4 cup spaghetti sauce, and you can just use the same. And just spread it on the bottom. And that just so a little more, so the noodles don't stick. So about a 1/4 to a 1/2 cup. So the noodles won't stick to the bottom. So I ended up putting about a cup of shredded cheese in the mixture. And you also want to save some because you want enough to sprinkle over the top to have a nice coating. So we'll mix this in. It's pretty green, but we will try to hide that with the sauce. So and with the sauce, we took out about a 1/2 cup to a 1/4 cup to a 1/2 cup, and depending on how much you want on the bottom. And you want to save at least a 1/4 cup to put on top of the mixture, on top of the lasagna. So make sure you leave some. Let's see where we are here. For the top. Okay, and this will help hide the spinach. Lastly, I'm adding a pound of cooked lean ground beef, and that's good for iron for your family. So we'll mix this in, and then we'll start with the layering. Okay, we have everything mixed and the pan ready, so now we're going to do a layer of lasagna noodles. And you can use whole wheat. These are actually just white. And with the 9 by 13 pan, I do a layer of 3 lasagna noodles for each layer. And it works for this size pan. So we have the 3, and then we'll put half the mixture onto the layer of pasta. So here we have half the mixture, and you just want to spread it out on top of all the noodles and pasta. There we go. And like I always say, ugly cooking, it doesn't have to be perfect. And you put your other layer. Again, 3 strips of pasta. There we go. And again, we'll put the second half of meat, spinach, and cheese mixture on top. Again, spread this layer. And then we'll be ready for the final layer of pasta. There we go. Okay, that's our last layer. Now we're going to just pour the rest of the pasta sauce on top and spread that around. Okay, so we have a layer of sauce, and next we're going to put a sprinkle of cheese, mozzarella cheese. I have a half cup here to put on top. And another trick you can do spinach. You can also add non-fat dry milk. If you don't think your family gets enough calcium, that's a great way to add calcium without them knowing. And I also believe in allowing kids and adults to eat, things like milk, or if they're tolerant of it. And also spinach. The more it's in front of them, the more likely they'll eat it eventually. So let's spread this out a little, and then we'll get it in the oven. So I've covered it with foil, and I'll cook it at 350 degrees for 30 minutes with foil, and then you take the foil off at 30 minutes and cook it for another 15 minutes to allow the cheese on top to brown and caramelize. So let's see what happens. Okay, it's been a half hour, and we just took off the foil, and now we'll let it cook for another 15 minutes, and it will be ready. Okay, here's our finished product. It was in for 1/2 hour with foil on top, 15 minutes without foil at 350 degrees. Let's eat. Hey, how do you like it?
I love it. Great. What's your green stuff?
Oh man,